Everyone! My name is Ruta and welcome to the 214th day of my challenge where I'm waiting for some really good dinner. It will be so tasty I feel like, and I'm gonna try a recipe which one of you guys suggested. Again, I'm kind of on a roll of trying out the recipes you guys asked me to try out. So today's recipe is one which has been sitting in my request list for quite some time, and that person actually asked me multiple times to try it out. So I feel like it will be a surprise for him just because I think by this time already he thinks I forgot about it, but no. So Matthew, today I am gonna try chicken tetrazzini, finally. So before we move on into the ingredients, I actually want to mention three of them. One is the white cheddar. Now where I'm currently staying, there are no different kinds of cheddar. I mean, we have cheddar, which is already quite cool, but it's like one color, yellow. So I'm gonna be using that. Like, this will be my cheese of choice for today. The next ingredient is white wine, and I'm just mentioning the ingredients in the original recipe, which I cannot really find, or I will be substituting. I kind of like doing that in advance, so just that you would have it in your mind while seeing later in just a second all the ingredients. So white wine is something I will not be using today just because I am currently staying in Iran where, well, alcohol is forbidden. So I will be substituting it with some chicken stock. And the last thing is something which you have to promise me will stay just between us. It will be a little secret of ours, just because I feel like I shouldn't really be doing that, but other than the Italian seasoning in Laura's cookbook, I cannot really find any other one. So as I will be making a mix today from that book, I figured I could secretly share it with you. I feel like I shouldn't. I don't know, copyrights and whatnot, but if that stays just a secret between us, I feel I could do that. So keep an eye for that. So now let's go over the ingredients and let's get started. We're gonna need 500 grams of linguine broken in half, 500 grams of mushrooms sliced, 350 grams of cooked chicken, shredded, 100 grams of frozen peas, thawed, 140 grams of cream cheese, 100 grams of cheddar, shredded, 80 grams of freshly grated Parmiggiano, 60 grams of butter, plus 15 grams more for greasing the casserole dish, 50 grams of flour, 3.5 cups of chicken stock, 1 cup of milk, half a cup of heavy cream, 1 onion chopped, 4 cloves of garlic, minced, salt and pepper, and Italian seasoning, for which I'm gonna use 2 tablespoons of dried basil, 2 tablespoons of dried parsley, 1 tablespoon of dried oregano, 1 tablespoon of granulated garlic, 2 teaspoons of granulated onion, 1 teaspoon of dried rosemary, and 1/4 teaspoon of red pepper flakes. And after mixing everything together, I'm gonna take 1 tablespoon for this recipe. And for the topping, we're gonna need 90 grams of breadcrumbs, 30 grams of butter cut into small cubes, and 20 grams of freshly grated Parmesan. Oh my goodness. I always feel like whenever I'm trying a recipe with that many ingredients, by the time I'm ready preparing them, the sun sets and I have to turn on all of my lights, which makes it feel like it takes forever. But now, as I am standing here, it means I'm done, which makes me so happy. The cooking part usually takes way shorter, and it's way quicker than preparing everything. Well, at least for me, as I'm filming everything. So anyways, the next thing I want to do before actually starting to cook, I want to do all the preparations possible so that by the time I need something or I need to assemble, everything will be ready. So first thing I did, I took a huge pot, filled it with cold water, and I'm bringing it to a boil, and once boiling, I'm gonna salt it generously. That's one. Two, now I'm gonna butter my casserole dish, which is the biggest casserole dish I own, just because there will be lots of food and I want to make sure it will all fit in it. So I have this 1 tablespoon of butter here, 15 grams, and I'm just gonna smudge it all over the pan. And then I also want to mix together Parmigiano and the breadcrumbs for the topping. And that's actually all with the preparations. So now, similarly to my largest pot, largest casserole dish, I took my largest pan, well, slash pot actually, which I will use for cooking. So now I will start by melting the butter over medium-high heat. Okay, now I'm gonna add the mushrooms and the onion, and I'm gonna saute it for 8 minutes. This smells so amazing already. Okay, so 8 minutes have passed. Now I'm gonna season it with a touch of salt, add the garlic, and cook for 30 seconds. Yes, garlic, yes, do your magic, it smells so good. Oh my god. Okay, so if you're using wine, this would be the time for you to add the wine. As I'm not using the wine, I'm gonna take half a cup of chicken stock, add it in, and cook for 1 minute. Now I'll add in the flour and cook it for 1 minute as well, but this time I'll be sure to mix all the time. And now let's add in our liquids: chicken stock, milk, heavy cream, and sneakily Italian seasoning. Now I will bring this to a boil, reduce the heat to medium, and then cook the sauce for 8 minutes or until it thickens up. Okay, my sauce is up to a boil, so at this point I'm gonna add the linguine in and cook it al dente, which basically means 2 minutes less than the package instruction says. And once they're done, I'm gonna drain them and rinse them under cold water to stop them from cooking further. And by that time, actually the sauce should be ready as well, so isn't that nice? Look at this lusciousness. Oh my god, I know you're thinking the same thing. It will be so tasty. Okay, so I cooked it actually more so like 10 minutes just because my pasta was done and I wanted to drain it, and then I was rinsing it with cold water. So now it's time. Where are they? Let me just bring them. To mix in the cheeses, Parmesan and the cheddar, and I also have their cream cheese into this already amazing looking thing. And now I'll mix in the chicken and the peas. This is something which you could just stare and stare and stare until your stomach would just start growling, because this is just like, tell me this doesn't look amazing. Oh, I totally forgot to season it with some salt and pepper. You should definitely taste it before doing that, but as I never really do while trying something for the first time on this challenge of mine, I'll just eyeball it, a little bit of salt and pepper, and then the pasta will go in as well. Oh, I feel like this will be heavy to do. But now I turn on my oven to preheat to 190 degrees because I feel like by the time I conquer this, it will be ready. So I should put all of this amazing mixture into the prepared casserole dish, then top it with this breadcrumb and Parmesan topping, and then put it into the oven for 25 minutes. This will be quick because I have a really hungry husband waiting for dinner, which actually kind of turned out to be almost like a midnight snack, just because this took way longer than I expected. Miscalculated, like big time. So before I go into chatting and like sharing my, ideas about this, let's try. But this will be hot. I literally waited 5 minutes, just 5 minutes once I took it out from the oven. So it's really, 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 really hot. Good. I feel like I maybe overcooked the sauce a bit. I mean, it's not dry. I couldn't say like it's really very dry, but I would like it to be just a tiny bit like saucier. Laura's definitely was saucier. But it doesn't stop me from eating. So just so that I can share my thoughts with you. First, now I totally get why Laura was kind of touching her breadcrumbs with hands and kind of, I don't know, not sticking, but like she was definitely pushing them a little bit towards the pasta. As you saw, I have like literally breadcrumbs. For some reason my Parmigiano didn't really like melt, and I have legit like breadcrumbs going on there. So either you should push it a little bit towards the pasta so it gets a little bit kind of wetter, or I'm thinking I should have drizzled it with some olive oil or something so that they would have some moisture to cook in the oven. That's one. Two was about the sauce. Definitely cook 8 minutes, not more, because once you add all the cheeses, it really thickens up. I really wish it was a little bit like more liquidy. Now when you look at it, it does look a bit dry, but I have to pat myself on the back. Seasoning is on point. Okay. That will be definitely all for today because, as I said, there's a particular one who just cannot wait to come to kitchen and have dinner. So, I really hope that this was fun and helpful. Matthew, if you try out this recipe, I will be waiting for a photo because, well, you asked me to try this. And now I'm asking you to try this. So this is a really nice, if it was saucier, I feel like this is a really nice dish to have on like a, I don't know, like a holiday table or something, because this really is for a lot of people. And even though this is not a recipe to start on a weekday evening after work, for sure, but this is something which is would be really nice on a holiday table, just because it's really flavorful. It looks kind of cool. I don't know, I love such kind of like bakes and whatnot. Okay, now I should really I should really be going. So, if you want, go check the original recipe by Laura there. You can find the written one in the description box down below. I really hope that this was fun and helpful again. If it was, please push the like button and let me know. And for now, I'll be running away. Bye! See you soon!